We are finally at that point, everyone. Tomorrow is the NHL draft, and the build-up leading up to it has been nothing short of crazy. For my first video on this channel, here is my 2026 NHL mock draft. I will have a few notes at the end of the video showcasing other predictions I have in the draft and the rest of the 21 to 32 range. Also, there will be trades in this mock draft. First up, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs taking Gavin McKenna. I don't think there's much debate here. Toronto said that they'd be taking Gavin McKenna with the number 1 pick, and he is the consensus best option in this draft. And on top of that, his speed and playmaking could work perfectly with Austin Matthews scoring and could potentially set him up for a rebound season as well as the rest of the team. Next up, I don't think there's going to be much debate on the next pick either, who after the San Jose Sharks trade away William Eklund, they'll be taking Ivar Stenberg. It's really not much of a close decision anymore because, yes, although the San Jose Sharks could theoretically still take Chase Reed number 2, Ivar Stenberg is the much better prospect, and now that they have the number 9 overall pick, they could select another defenseman, which I'll get to later. Even before the William Eklund trade, I still wanted Stenberg to go number 2 overall over Chase Reed, whether it be the Sharks or another team. Now that Eklund's gone, Stenberg can be a perfect replacement for him and can grow to be a powerhouse next to Celebrini and the rest of the Sharks. Next up, it looks like the Vancouver Canucks are going to take Caleb Malhotra. It's partially due to the father being the coach there, but I still do think it's a good fit in Vancouver. Does he have top-line center potential? Maybe. Probably on this Vancouver team. Is he going to outperform Viggo Bjork in this draft? Who knows? Malhotra has great puck handling and playmaking skills and could work really well with shooters on his team such as Jake DeBrusk and Drew O'Connor and potentially other future assets that the Vancouver Canucks acquire. Next up, I'm still not over this trade. Buffalo Sabres take Chase Reed. And look, Buffalo has another top 15 pick. Except they somehow traded for it for Bowen Byram of all people. Reed has great puck moving skills and vision, and could set up plays, easily find open teammates, and even has the scoring ability for himself. With Buffalo having Rasmus Dahlin already, adding on Chase Reed could solidify that defense even more, and could give Buffalo the potential to have one of the best defenses in the entire NHL. Next up is the New York Rangers, and I have them taking Carson Karels. This is the best player available scenario for New York, as they have a ton of needs on this team outside of center, and I think Karels is the person that they're going to go for. Karels is a big and physical talent, especially defensively, yet he still has growing offensive talents, and has the potential to be a really dynamic, multi-tool defenseman in the NHL. Now that the Flames just traded for Simon Nemec, I think they're going to take Viggo Bjork in the draft, because I really like how their defense is set up now with Simon Nemec, but their offense is still lacking very much, and I think Bjork could be a really important piece for when Calgary finds their franchise cornerstone. Bjork is easily the smartest skater in this class, with extremely high offensive production in the SHL. I think it's going to take a while to fully develop in the NHL, maybe including growing pains in his rookie year, or even 2 years in the development leagues. But I think he has the potential to be a top 3 player in this class, even above Caleb Malhotra or Chase Reed. Next up are the Seattle Kraken taking Keaton Verhoff. The Kraken severely lack defensemen right now, and I think drafting Verhoff would be a really good opportunity to build up the defensive prospect pool and the roster in the future. Verhoff is very clearly a pure offense defenseman, which Seattle also desperately needs. He was the producer in the WHL and the core of North Dakota's defense on their Frozen Four run in the NCAA. He did show flaws in the NCAA, but I believe he's going to refine those flaws and take a huge step forward next year at the collegiate level. Next up, we have our first trade of the video, with the Winnipeg Jets trading back with the New York Islanders to draft Albert Schmitz, full trade on the left. Winnipeg needs youth, the Islanders need defense. The Islanders have a great prospect pool. Winnipeg, at their spot right now, has a lot of great defensive products to choose from, so I think this trade makes sense. About Schmitz himself, he thrives in the big moments. He played top pairing defensive minutes at the World Juniors and had 2 assists at the Olympics this year. On top of his size and skating, I can see him transitioning really well into the NHL. Next up are the San Jose Sharks' second pick in this draft, being Daxton Rudolph. A lot of people hated this trade for San Jose. I think it's a bigger win than a lot of people may realize. Not only do they draft a better replacement for William Eklund and Ivar Stenberg, but they also get a top defenseman in this class now. Rudolph is a solid 2-way defenseman that can produce on both sides of the ice, which I think it would work really well if either him or Schmitz can fall to San Jose at 9th overall. The Nashville Predators selecting Tyler Lawrence at number 10 is probably the biggest lock in this draft outside of the top 3. They need center depth, as Ryan O'Reilly and developing Matthew Wood are their only viable centers on this team. Lawrence has great skating and puck control skills, and is a producer in the development leagues. His work ethic and vision are great attributes that add on to his archetype as a playmaking two-way center. So this is around the halfway point of the video, and I wanted to take a quick break to discuss St. Louis in this draft. They have 4 first-round picks, 3 of them being in the 11 to 20 range, and I'd be shocked if they select players with all of those picks. That is my justification for this next pick in this video. With that being said, I have the St. Louis Blues creating a package involving that 11th overall pick being handed over to the Dallas Stars for them to take Ethan Belchetz. For those who haven't seen, I made a video with this mock trade in it, and with how likely it is for St. Louis to trade away some of those picks for another player, we don't know who it is yet, I think the safest option is to just go with the mock I made. I think Belchetz would be a perfect replacement for Jason Robertson if they do end up trading him, specifically due to his size and scoring ability, making him a dream power forward. He has extreme upside with his archetype, and is probably one of the more underrated players in this draft class. Next up, I have my New Jersey Devils taking Wyatt Cullen. I see this as the next best thing because I would have preferred Ethan Belchetz if he was still there. But for a guy that has been rising in draft stock ever since the NHL season started, he is still a great option for scoring at the left wing position for the Devils. He has great vision, playmaking, and great upside for a player that is still developing and growing. Next up are the Winnipeg Jets picking at 13th due to the mock trade I made earlier in this video with the Islanders, selecting Malte Gustafsson. Like I said before, the Jets need youth, but I think they need a little more on defense because they have players like Brad Lambert and Cole Perfetti to keep that forward core a little younger for now. I think Gustafsson would still be a really good fit for this team, especially if they do lose Connor Hellebuyck. A classic stay-at-home defenseman with great size and hockey IQ, he is likely the best defensive defenseman in this class. Next up, I have Columbus selecting Oscar Hemming. Columbus is a lot of guys that can play make and move the puck forward, but not a lot of guys that can finish, especially in a depleting forward core and prospect pool. Hemming's biggest strength is his shot, while also having a high IQ and size that allows him to be a playmaker as well. There isn't a lot from his draft year because of the conflict he had in the Finnish league, but now in the NCAA, he'll have a better opportunity to develop and refine his current skills with bigger competition. Next up are the St. Louis Blues drafting Nikita Klepov. I think St. Louis is looking a lot better this offseason, especially with young players now joining the team, great drafting over the past few years, and a lot of assets. I think they're going on the right track. Nikita Klepov is a dynamic playmaker that can work perfectly with the amount of shooters that St. Louis has. He has a high hockey IQ and puck handling skills, although still needs to improve his skating and two-way play before he can become a full-time NHLer, but the upside is there. The Dallas Stars are back on the clock after the Jason Robertson mock trade, but I think they trade this pick again to Philadelphia, who drafts Ryan Lynn. I think Dallas could definitely get some more assets by trading down in the draft, because I don't necessarily think they need Adam Novotny if they already drafted Ethan Belchetz earlier in the draft, nor do I think they need Ryan Lynn when they already have Miro Heiskanen, who plays the same role. Meanwhile, Philadelphia trading up would be useful for them because a player like Ryan Lynn would improve the transition game on top of great hockey IQ and skating skills, and can also contribute on offense and the power play, which they desperately need, on their second pairing behind Travis Sanheim. Next up, I have the Los Angeles Kings selecting Oliver Savanto. The Kings are likely going to go into a rebuild once Artemi Panarin is gone, so for now, I think their focus should be building up the center depth in this draft, as Quinton Byfield is currently their top-line center. I think Oliver Savanto is the pick here, a big-body player with positives in physicality and puck control. On top of that, he is also the youngest player in this draft class, only turning 18 a few weeks before the start of the NHL season. Overall, I think he does have a lot to improve on still, but I think at the end of the day, he'll be a middle six center in the NHL. Next up, the Washington Capitals selected Adam Novotny. Even after they traded for Jordan Kyrou, I still think the Washington Capitals need more help on offense, especially when Alex Ovechkin retires. That's where Adam Novotny comes in. Novotny's a very interesting player in this class. Like Hemming, his biggest strength is his shot, and he also takes a lot of them and is a physical two-way forward. While he's not the best playmaker, the Capitals do have a lot of assets that could help set up Novotny to become a big-time scorer in the NHL. This is just a little post-production recording since this video was recorded before the Alex Tuch sign and trade. I still think Washington chooses Adam Novotny here because of how complete they are on defense and on goalie. They don't really have that many more needs anymore. Next up, I have the Utah Mammoth taking Elton Hermannsson. Hermannsson is still a developmental player, although he has great creativity and puck handling skills. Adding Hermanson as a middle six winger could make Utah scoring one of the most powerful in the league, as that aspect of the team only gets better and better. And this is the last pick I'll be giving you a description on. It'll be Buffalo Sabres taking JP Herbert. Buffalo now has strengths everywhere, especially if they do take Chase Reed at 4th overall. I still think they could use a little more scoring, though. His defense, physicality, and skating still need a little more work, but he can be a monster on the power play and a high-level contributor on offense for Buffalo. So that concludes my top 20, and here is the list of the rest of the first round. So a few things to know here. I have the Calgary Flames taking the Ruck Twins with Liam at 30 and Marcus at 36. I think Ottawa could take them too, but considering what they dealt with last year, I think they need a little more defensive depth. I also do have another trade. This time Carolina trades down into the second round, and Pittsburgh gets the 31st overall pick. I just think Pittsburgh's a team that definitely needs center depth, with Brooks Rogowski, Yegor Shilov, and Alan Valentini still available at 31 in my draft. And with that, that is my official 2026 NHL mock draft. Here's the list again, and we'll see what happens with hopefully more upcoming trades and the draft tomorrow night. Like and subscribe to stay updated with the content, and peace out.